to football now and talk about the Premier League. Well, I'll admit I'm a Spurs fan at the minute. We're one of the only teams I think we are the only team
not to have
bought a player in the transfer window, which is a bit disconcerting. We've also sold the most expensive defender in the world. I don't want to make it about Tottenham because they're probably going to struggle this year, but the money that's in the Premier League and the transfer market is quite ridiculous at the minute.
Yeah.
Took Kyle Walker as the example I just gave, 50 million quid for a defender who can't cross. And it doesn't score any goals.
Bonucci went from Juventus to AC Milan.
How much money?
38 million.
Yeah.
Probably the best defender in the world at the moment, I'd argue.
Yeah, well, certainly better than a Kyle Walker. But then,
and he went for 12 million less.
How much is that because the clubs in the Premier League all know they each have the money, and they want English players to meet these quotas and all those kind of things, and it's like a marquee signing without being one, so you pay double bubble. But is the game a bit bust that way? Can that go on forever?
It probably can. I mean, the money's just, it's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Chinese money now is coming in too. I mean, the La Liga
thought that would have a bigger
is moving
effect.
matches earlier to meet with the Asian markets. I mean, it's just money that's coming. I mean, it was propped up by the English for years, and now it's been propped up from overseas. It just doesn't seem to be stopping. How clubs are meeting this now is they're increasing ticket costs, which I don't think is fair. You look at the likes of Bayern Munich, their season tickets are 10% what they are in the UK. And as well as that, then you're looking at the exact same thing. When you buy a Bayern Munich season ticket on game match day, that's all your travel ticket as well. You just show that in the train and you get to matches.
But do you think
they don't get that value over here?
No, they don't.
And what they're doing is, it's not going to meet it, because what you have now is a lot of football clubs like West Ham with their big stadium. You're not attracting real football fans anymore because they're nearly being priced out of it.
It's become a corporate event, though.
It's a big corporate event.
Premier League games have become a corporate event, and then there's the diehards who have had season tickets for a number of years, and
they're getting the same price now.
And that's their life, so they kind of build all their working life around being able to go to football at the weekend, and I think that's a bit depressing, really, considering I might want to bring my kids to football at some stage, and it's going to cost me a week's holiday almost.
Yeah.
The argument could be made, though, I suppose, to remain competitive in the league, you have to be making these signings.
Yeah.
And so fans may be willing to tolerate those increased ticket prices in order to maintain their teams competitive.
Like, I thought it was brilliant. The chairman of Bayern Munich was asked before, why don't they put up their season ticket cost? And he said, what's that going to get us, an extra 2-3 million a year?
Exactly.
But he said, an extra €200 to my fan is worth so much to them. An extra 3 million to us isn't really going to make much of a difference. The Premier League is just doing this. It's just a continuous business model, and it's not meeting what real fans are. There's enough money coming in from the likes of Sky, there's enough money coming in from all these sponsors that they don't need to be screwing fans like they are. And they simply are. But worldwide, I mean, where would the English market rank now? The actual players wise. I mean, they're not winning the Champions League anymore.
No.
The actual English teams really aren't doing that well anymore in big tournaments. The actual model itself is seriously flawed.
It's a big bubble, isn't it, the Premier League?
But 10 years ago, like, what was the world record transfer fee? I don't know. It was astronomical to us then, and it's the same now. So like everything moves on, and
the fees don't matter anymore because there's so much money there. You don't even think about it.
It's just numbers.
Yeah.
Like they can justify it by selling shirts and
the media and the rights deals have all increased over the
TV
time.
deals and
so the actual transfer fee.
The argument could be made, though, that they are now more than they ever were, I suppose, a business.
Yeah.
And that you owe it. You owe it as someone who's running a club. You owe it to the shareholders of that business or club to increase revenue and to drive as much profit as you possibly can.
100%.
So it's essentially just they're falling under the rules of capitalism now, rather than any romantic notion of football and fans.
That's a shame because it was the romantic game. Like it was that thing that kind of everyone from all classes could get into, and I think it started as a working man sport, and now it's completely.
It is a working man sport.
But
it will be.
The
but
fans
the actual top level of it isn't now.
I don't think the top level. The top level is like a corporate hospitality event now.
I think you'll still find romantic stories within it, like Leicester winning the Premier League and stuff like that. You will find those romantic.
Vardy's one of the most unlikable human beings that probably ever existed.
His rise.
Still, yeah, fair enough.
His rise
Dear
from.
God.
He's done all right for himself, though, in fairness.
His rise to prominence is what I meant. Not his personal. Let's talk about it though, as if. We're trying to work out who's actually done the best bits of business over the course of the summer so far. Obviously, it's not Spurs because they haven't done any. But Lukaku going to Man United is a marquee signing that I thought signalled huge intent from Jose Mourinho, and I'd probably put that top of the list.
Yeah, but what the hell is it with Man United and Jose Mourinho buying back young players they've sold off? Like, I think Mourinho had a superstar in Lukaku at Chelsea, and didn't have any time of day for him. Shipped him off to Everton as soon as he could, pretty much. Never gave him a go. everyone knew he was the new Drogba. Bar, he doesn't have Drogba's first touch.
Yeah, but
I think
Mourinho wants things here and now. He doesn't have time to wait for people,
exactly.
for players
ridiculous.
to develop.
No, it's not ridiculous. Not ridiculous
He wants
because
success
when Mourinho is managing a club, he's got to deliver a finished product that year. You've got to win something.
Yeah, you don't have 5 years to develop.
But do you not hang on to a player?
He
potentially.
I don't think he cares about what happens in 2 or 3 years' time. He's got to win this season. So now he's looked at Man United and gone, well, we need Lukaku now, so let's have him. And to me, it's a huge signing. He's someone who's going to score buckets of goals.
Yeah, no matter where he goes.
He'd score buckets of goals again, inferior opposition, which he did for Everton last year. But he was quite poor
big
again.
The
big game.
Is that not because Everton are poorer against?
Teams? Maybe in a better team, he will be better again than big teams. But
Everton have actually strengthened well, though, haven't they?
Yeah, they've made.
But Everton was one of the teams I was going to pick out because they've done all the business in the transfer market early. They seem to have some kind of plan put together, and they're spending money that doesn't look unrealistic in terms of bringing them up a level in the Premier League.
That guy Klaassen they got from Ajax is excellent as well. Really good player. Yeah, really good player. Yeah, I still wouldn't fancy him to do much now because like the rest.
Well,
of the
this is where I was going.
Jordan Pickford from Sunderland as well.
He could be there for 10, 15 years. He could be.
He could be, yeah.
That's that kind of signing. That's why they spent the money.
It's hard to know whether he'll get a cap for England and just implode like every other English keeper.
A few of them,
30 million.
They seem to be quite aggressive though. They picked up 3 or 4 players early on before they let go of Lukaku.
That's what I mean. They have a plan. They seem to have a plan.
And they've probably built around selling Lukaku. Probably.
Yeah, and they've
they
done
were safe
now.
in the knowledge that he was going.
They've done that now. Yeah. Well, look, they're 9-1 for a top 4. Any value?
Everton.
I think there's value there. I think they were 7th last year, and I think there's potential there in the top 4. But it's still a big ask. It's still a leap for them. But I think
they could do with Spurs.
I think they've been the best of the teams in the transfer market to date.
Thus far, Liverpool have been the worst. Bar Spurs, obviously.
It looks like
Liverpool need players quickly.
Yeah. With Klopp, I think I still don't actually quite get his mantra yet. I just don't with the players he buys and where he's going with it. If they were to lose, say, a Coutinho, I think that team is in trouble.
He follows the route he went with Dortmund, where he didn't mind selling players for big money, and he used to replace them. And that was, Dortmund still run themselves off the back of that.
Yeah.
They have no problem losing players, and they replaced them by their good scouting networks that he set up. So he's stuck in this mantra. Liverpool need 2 or 3 really, really good.
They need quality.
They need a striker like Aguero or someone.
He's seriously struggling to get his main targets in, and he's running out of time. If Liverpool and Spurs probably are the 2 that could. Spurs moving to Wembley for the home games, that wasn't too successful in Champions League.
It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, so they could be.
They're going to take.
There's still a month's business to do, but I was looking at outright prices as well. I can't understand how Man United are shorter than Chelsea to win the league.
Yeah, I agree. Man United, what are they, 100-30? Chelsea 7-2. And it looks like Chelsea have just got Morata.
Yeah, they were 24 points behind them last year.
How do you rate him?
I don't know.
I was never mad about him.
I don't. Will you do it?
He never really played a full season for.
If he's on the market and you want a marquee signing, he's one of those guys.
There's not
at
many,
the moment.
There isn't many strikers.
Nobody seems to.
Everton are 80-1 for the Premier League for a 1-2 finish. Absolutely no chance, I don't think. No. But that 9-1 top 4 with Tottenham perhaps maybe a slip out. Liverpool haven't done much business yet.
They City haven't really
could be a creeper. Well, Walker is the only one that. He's big money. He's big money. Yeah, it's going to be car crash stuff, but. It could click for them. Pep Guardiola is a manager that you have to have time for, and he's now got another stage of his kind of
another year
bedding in at City. They're 15-8 favourites to win the league. I couldn't touch them.
No. Chelsea have to be the bet. 7-2. They walked it last year.
That is a good signing.
Chelsea were 15 points ahead of 3rd place last year. I couldn't see that dwindling.
I think if Tottenham were at White Hart Lane this season and bought a couple of players, I'd really fancy them.
They were by far the 2nd best team in the league last year.
They won't be, so they've got quite a bit to overcome, I think. So we have a quick chat about the Championship because some big teams have gone down into that division. You remember last year it was all about Champions League winning managers managing the Championship. This year we've got some teams that have won big titles in their heyday. So massive names like Middlesbrough, Villa, Leeds, even Norwich. I think I'd throw them in. I remember their glory days in European football. So Forest are in there. So it's a big league now, the Championship, and I think there's plenty of excitement about it. But I wanted to see whether you guys had a pick for the outright winner. Borough and Villa are 7-1 joint favourites at the moment for the Championship.
It's wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Of the 33 teams that have gone down since 2005 and 2006, only 7 teams have gone straight back up again. And of those 7, you can take 4 of them You can take 2 away because Birmingham did it twice and Newcastle did it twice. It's very, very hard to come down and go straight back up again. No matter how much money you throw at it. Aston Villa threw nearly 50 million at it last year, and they came nowhere close. The league is a very, very hard league. I'd argue it's one of the hardest leagues in Europe because every team is of a similar level. They don't fear each other at all. Everyone goes at each other. I'm a Leeds fan now, so I might be slightly biased because we lost our manager to Middlesbrough. But I think Middlesbrough are 15 to 8 to go up. I think it's a horrible price. I think at the moment they have a serious squad. By financial fair play rules, they can't keep that squad now. They've spent over 30 million, which is unheard of actually in the Championship for like even 5-6 years ago. Teams are going down, they had to sell their players. Now all the teams getting that parachute payment of 50-60 million for going down. It's just making the league not that fair really.
Villa could be best placed, having had a year at it and a bit of time, new manager.
Yeah, but they were poor last year though.
They were poor.
I mean, we played them off the pitch that day. We actually played them off the pitch twice. We drew the first thing, we should have beaten them. Leeds, yeah, sorry. We being Leeds. And Villa never impressed me once last year. Who have they added this year? They added Jamal El Mohammadi,
John Terry.
And they've added Glenn Whelan and John Terry, who'll need to be wheeled around
They're good
in a wheelchair. Not in the Championship. It's such a quick league. John Terry's going to be turned inside out.
Can he not just direct the play from the back and marshal that?
He can lead.
Side?
He's too old now. That league is so quick. All defenders
His
get
experience, what they need.
Villa interest me at 7-1. They do.
Glenn Whelan's good signing for them too.
Glenn Whelan,
he's played in the Premier League.
Very solid signing for it, but I don't see Villa.
Do you see John Terry being more a liability?
I see John Terry being absolutely destroyed by the very quick teams down there. I see a team like Fulham who are 3-1 to go up. I think that's a great price. Okay. I think us at 11-2, Leeds at 11-2. We've kept all our squad from last year. We fell apart because of our small squad towards the end of last year. We've kept all our squad. We sold 1 player in Charlie Taylor and we bought in 10 players this year. So we spent the most money who we spent since the Premier League. We're buying internationals. We're buying very good players. We buy a Dutch international in Anita. We bought Alioski, who's Macedonia's best player, top scorer in Switzerland last year from midfield. Yeah. He's a quality signings. We're 11-2. We have a brilliant squad. We have a good young manager. And I think 11-2 on us is huge, but I also think that 3-1 on Fulham, who have a really good manager, a really good squad. That young Sessignon,
yeah, he's good.
Left back, he's absolutely brilliant. And 3-1 on Fulham to go up, it really should be part of any ACCA. I just think they're rock solid. And they finished last season in such good form. Okay. That if they can keep that going, they'll be absolutely fine.
That's emphatic.